If you ever visit Ghana in the future, make sure you ask for Abenkwan palm nut soup. This palm nut soup can be eaten with various type of food, and I'm gonna be showing them to you. Palm nut soup with fufu, palm nut soup with banku, palm nut soup with kunkunte, palm nut soup with rice balls, and palm nut soup with rice. It pairs with everything, and I'm gonna show you the recipe right now. So I have here my protein, which is turkey, roasted turkey, and cow's feet with some salted cured fish to give it that taste that when you eat it, you'll go 1 week with the smell of the soup on your hand. So I added my cow skin, and I'm gonna season this with our Ghanaian authentic sankofa or chicken and beef seasoning. This is natural seasoning that does not have any kind of sodium in it, and it is very good in the market, and it's been used in Ghana a lot. And this is Maggi Mo Encore. This is one of my favorite season cubes. I grew up watching my grandma use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss two in it. And we are seasoning our food right in front of you. And I'm gonna go ahead and roughly chop some red onions and just top it up with it. And we are not done with the season. We're gonna add a couple here and there stuff. And I'm adding here my habanero pepper. I went with the green one because give it so much flavor. And I went ahead and added one large onion but cut in quarters, and I added in 3 tomatoes. This is how you want to add your tomatoes. You don't want too much for palm nut soup. It does not taste good, so you can never go wrong with adding a little bit more garlic powder and ginger powder. You want your soup to taste authentic. And I went ahead and add all my favorite seasoned adobo, and I added like a little bit of salt because you do not want this soup to be salty. I don't know why I'm blabbering. And I added water to cook my protein because the cow's feet is tough and the cow skin is tough, so we need this to cook and cook before we use. So now my soup was cooking, my protein is cooking with my vegetables. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my vegetable out. I did a taste test and it was perfectly in check with the season. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take off all the vegetables that I put in, which was tomatoes, onions, and pepper, habanero pepper. So I'm gonna just take it and put it on the side and just cover my meat to cook for longer. This palm nut soup recipe is one of the easiest one that I'm following tradition from back home. Sometimes some people use some of the palm nut base to start cooking with the meat, but I do not like it because this is not the raw palm nut. It is in a can that is already ready made, and you just have to use it. So I just like to use it at the last minute. So now that my protein are cooked for a little bit, I went ahead and added my lamb legs that I cut up into perfectly chunks. Just throw them in there because it is much more softer to cook than the rest of the meat. So once I cover it, I have here some wild eggplant. We could call it turkey berry, and it is called kuensusua in Ghana. You do not want to make your palm nut soup without kuensusua. This enhances the flavor and give it much more natural taste. Normally, you pound it together with the palm nut if you don't have just the palm nut puree. So my meat is looking good, and I keep stirring it up and stirring up to check. And I took one of the meat to check to see for tenderness. So I went ahead and transferred my dry meat in there to let it cook for a little bit because you want to take this out because you do not want it to melt. All it needed was a little bit of heat to steam it up a little bit so you can take it off. So I went ahead and tossed my soup around, and I'm gonna pour in my palm nut base. This is how it looks. I just mixed it up in hot water just started it first. So this is how it's supposed to look. Just went ahead and stir it up, and if you're making a lot, you can add more water to make it boil because it's gonna get thickened once you leave it out for a little. So I cover it up to cook, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put in my tomato, onion, and pepper that I blended mixed with the turkey berry. I just blended it, and I'm just gonna just drain it and put it in, and there's more to come to put it in. This soup is so simple to make because once you do everything, you just gotta watch it to cook and just sit and relax. Back then in Africa, you have to pound the pamna. You gotta cook the pamna, pound it, get it out of the, like, it was a lot of process. But now tradition, they make it into can and they taste as similar as whatever you would get back home, the pamna. But you can never beat fresh fruit, so I give this a credit, but fresh fruit is one of my favorite to make. So I went ahead and strained out the second vegetable mix that I blended, and you want to use a strainer to strain it out. Sometimes the blender does not blend it very good. I checked for salt again, and everything was in check. I covered it up to start boiling. Look how beautiful my soup is boiling, and I went ahead to give it extra flavor. This is called prekese. I don't know what prekese's English name is. If you know, just leave it in the comment section, please. Prekese enhance the flavor, and this helps make you ensure that it smells 10 times better on your hand. Once you're done eating, I had to wash it and just throw it in to let it cook. And this is how you want your soup to be boiling over, because the cow's feet and the turkey and the cow skin needs to cook before the soup is done, that you leave it to relax. So I went ahead and added in my smoked mackerel that I just smoked. There's a video coming up with the smoked mackerel. It's so easy to make your own mackerel. When you buy the fresh one in the store, you just make it. So once you put in your dry fish, now you know that the soup is almost done, and you're just gonna leave it to simmer by itself. So I went ahead and pour some of the soup on my dry fish to make sure it's getting all the flavors in there. I went ahead and cover it up, and now I cut up my eggplant, and I'm just gonna put it on there. In Ghana they call it inyadua ana entropo. I don't know if I said it right, but if I didn't say it right, just correct me down there. I know. So I went ahead and cut like 3 of them and just cut it into cubes and just throw them in there. It is very good for pamna soup. And I went ahead and cleaned the edge of the pot because the soup has been boiling over. And this time your soup is done. Just when I'm talking, your soup is done. You just gotta cover it up to let the oil settle on the top. And once you see oil setting up on top, you know your soup is done and you have your soup to enjoy. Make sure I know in the comment section what you think about this authentic Ghana pamna soup, because I love it and my guests loved it so much yesterday. And this is the final look of it being done. This is done. You're just ready to pair it with anything that you want to pair it with. This soup is all nation. I don't know what you cannot pair it with. Please subscribe. Bye.